Hi friends, this is Deep Basu and welcome to my channel Think Deep. I am back and I'm going to review the film Bhuj, the Pride of India. So before I get on to my review, let me tell you the actual story on basis of which this movie has been made is pretty extraordinary and interesting. And it's a shame I didn't have any knowledge about it. I'm sure most of you might have known. So during 1971, there was a massive 14-day, I think, Indo-Pak war, and this war was basically uh, which led to the reformation of Bangladesh. And during this war, the Pakistani soldiers had dropped 14 bombs on Bhuj airstrip, the runway, and destroyed it. So when this airstrip was destroyed, it posed a lot of challenges for the army soldiers because they neither could take off their flights or could land. So this was one very strategy made by the Pakistani troops to get hold of India to destroy the army soldiers. So now Vijay Karnik, who is a IAF squadron, how with the help of 300 women, local villagers, he decides to build this airstrip and to go against Pakistani troops. So this is the story, and it's a pretty extraordinary story. And but alas, anyway, when I heard the story, when I heard the synopsis, I thought, I did a lot of research, and trust me, even if an essay was written on this story, it would have been very interesting. Even if you read a book or a novel on the basis of this story, it's going to be very interesting. But alas, the movie, the 2-hour long film, Pride, the Bhuj, the Pride of India, was not interesting. Was not half as interesting as the synopsis, the actual original story. And unfortunately, it was not. Frankly speaking, this movie could have been really good, could have been really inspiring. Yesterday, I watched Shershah, which was amazing, and I was really hoping that, Ajay Devgan, see, sometimes you do, Ajay Devgan as a producer, as an actor, is a part of many successful films. But I was really hoping and I was thinking Bhuj is going to be a very good film. But unfortunately, it doesn't quite, is matches up to a good film, and because there are a lot of flaws in the film. So only the good points. I'll begin with the good points. The movie, the VFX is done wonderfully. After all, Ajay Devgan has his own VFX studio, and they have done a great work. DOP Azim sir, amazing work. He's definitely one of the most veteran cinematographers we have in this industry. So Azim sir has done a great job. So the cinematography is good, the VFX is good, the action is amazing, and getting to the performance later. So these are the good points. Now the negative aspects. The entire script is very disjointed. The first 40 minutes I'm not understanding. None of the scenes are quite, holding me properly. The sequences are so disjointed. The characters are like caricatures. Every scene, the characters who have been introduced are shouting, yelling. There's no subtlety in this entire film. Everyone is talking about Bharat, India. So jingoistic, that's the word. So it's very opposite your Shershah. Though I'm not comparing both the films, but there's no subtlety in this film. Everyone is shouting, everyone is yelling. Characters are very superficial. See, it's looking like a film. Means I just hope if this movie was a little bit, it had realism, I would have got connected. None of the characters are, very well etched out. So I'm not getting connected to each of the characters. Ami Virk plays a very important. Ami Virk, if you know, he's a Punjabi actor and a very famous singer. He plays a very important character, and he has a very emotional backstory. He has a daughter, and he's in two minds whether to fight for the country or go back home to his daughter. But I'm unable to, feel for him because his character is somewhat not touching my soul. So, and other portions are very, as I said, very jingoistic. The characters are very superficial. Sanjay Dutt, always on an autopilot mode. There's a sequence. Sanjay Dutt takes on 20 to 25 Pakistani troops with his axe. And it reminds me of Matrix. He's fighting with the single-handedly he's fighting with his axe, and is fighting against 30 troops. And no one has the guts to shoot him. Sharad Kelkar gets shot. Ajay Devgan gets shot. Many Pakistani troops get shot, but Sanjay Dutt single-handedly is fighting 30 soldiers and he's alive. No one has the guts to shoot him, he would have been dead. But I don't know, what did this? Why did they write this scene? Was Sanjay Dutt God, or was he invincible? All these sequences are definitely brought about that superficial content, means this kind of elements. This movie was so extraordinary. The story, when I heard the synopsis, when I went through a few stories online, I was really hoping this Bhuj is going to be really, unnerving and, edge of the seat, thrilling moment, but nothing happens. Even the ending, even the beginning, and trust me, first 40 minutes, I was wondering what's happening. Everything was so fast, so disjointed, so superficial. The movie picks up after 1 hour when the airstrip gets destroyed in Bhuj, and how Ajay Devgan, who plays Vijay Karnik, his name is Vijay Karnik, he's a squadron leader, and how he decides to get hold of 300 women, how he convinces them. So after 1 hour, the movie picks up, but again dips. And the music is okay. And coming to the performances, Ajay Devgan is Ajay Devgan, autopilot mode. Sanjay Dutt is Sanjay Dutt, autopilot mode. He walks like a zombie. Sanjay Dutt, Ajay Devgan, they are such lucky actors. Each and every movie they do, they are in this autopilot mode. Not much of dancing, standing, dialogue delivery. They are such lucky actors. Yeah, there's so many actors who go through this method acting, research, R&D, whatnot. But these two actors, including Salman Khan, are in the autopilot mode all the time in every movie. Man, they are such lucky people. They produce their films, they put in their own money. I'm sure the studios back them up, and they are in the autopilot mode. Yeah, so lucky. Koi mehnat nahi, kuch nahi. They just walk, dialogue delivery. Sanjay Dutt and Ajay Devgan to definitely make kya bolu. They are the same. And Sharath Kelkar definitely leaves a mark, but somewhat I felt his character was thoda caricaturous. It's good to see Sonakshi Sinha after a long time, but she doesn't get much scope to explore her character. Nora Fatehi looks beautiful. She has a lot of action sequences, but wasted. Her dance, Coca-Cola Pila De, Zalema Coca-Cola, has been chopped. So I feel Nora Fatehi was wasted. Someone else could have done the character. And Pranita Subhas, who plays Ajay Devgan's wife, is also wasted. She's a very good actor. She was part of Hangama too. In this film, she has no dialogues, only tears, only sad expressions, nothing else. Miss, I don't know, women are still signing such films, yeah. Just because it maybe has a big star or big banner, but come on, yeah. Pranita, you deserve much more. You're a very good actor. So overall, Bhuj, the Pride of India, is okay, is very average. If you want to know more about this entire real event which took place in December 1971, please look up. Google it, look up. There are a lot of reports, a lot of interviews, and I believe Vijay Karnik is still alive. He was part of the shoot. He had come on the sets of this film. So you can look up, you can Google it, you get to know interesting stories. But this movie serves no purpose. I don't want to sound rude. So Bhuj, Pride of India, you can give it a miss if you want to. Watch Shershah instead. And I'm sure you're going to like it. Anyway, guys, this is my review for Bhuj, the Pride of India. I was expecting much better. Trust me, I was expecting much more, because Ajay Devgan, I like him, yeah. So what, he's on autopilot mode. I do like him. I find he's quite a star. But anyways, that's what it is. So anyway, that's that. So guys, I sign off. Do subscribe to my page. My Instagram handle is Peanut Butter Boy. My YouTube channel is Think Deep Basu. So I'll be coming back with more reviews and a lot of other contents. So guys, this is it. If I miss out on anything, please let me know on the feedback section. So guys, I sign off.